What if instead of millionaire real estate agent, Gary titled it, How to Be a Pirate? Did you really think all those books were about real estate? You were reading instead of feeling. They were about life, grand adventures, fortunes to be had, stories about chaos and opportunity, strength and vision, leadership and daring exploits. They were maps to sail the world, to explore and discover, clues to solve mysteries. They were autobiographies and memoirs of Gary and everyone he ever met. They were thrillers, comedies, epic tales, and legends, conquering heroes. Now those are things you make a cape for. Entrepreneurs can fly. We're 40 years old this year. We went and grew up. We have to keep dreaming like children because children aren't afraid to fall. They aren't afraid to go to sea in a storm. Their imaginations are wild because they haven't learned to fail. They catch their breath in excited gulps and never stop moving. They cannonball the pools and they pretend to be pirates, just like entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs don't love chaos. They love seeing an answer in the chaos. We build businesses worth owning and lives worth living. While others simply play real estate, we bend the rules to the direction we want the wind to blow. We command the horizon. We lead an industry by going our own way. We train the best to be better and to come on board. And we leave competitors in our wake. We sell, we buy, we change lives. Tears of joy, shouts of victory. The dreams we had met with the dreams of our clients. New keys, new doors, new lives, new memories. And every one of us will be a part of the stories they tell. The life we've chosen is a celebration of the journey, from treasure to treasure. It's an attitude you either have or you learn from reading a book you thought was about real estate. At Keller Williams, as a leader, as a team builder, as a leaver of legacy, you will be so much more than a real estate agent. There's an entrepreneur inside every one of you, an incredibly wealthy entrepreneur. Because as Gary tells us, relationships are the currency of wealth, and you're part of a culture like no other, with a network like no other. In Mark Twain's book, Life on the Mississippi, he remembers his childhood when he says, "Now and then we had the hope that if we lived and were good, God would permit us to be pirates." Who ever heard of a pirate asking permission? Twice the skull and mustache.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here. Good morning.
You want to make more money, have more time.
Sorry, he interrupted us. All right, there we go.
And good morning, Zoom. We have a couple new people in the room, and some people in the room who were here yesterday are on Zoom today. So, Ben, do you want to introduce yourself to us?
Okay. Hi, good morning. My name is Benjamin Chamel. I was in the U.S. Air Force for 8 years. I did 10 years of college. I studied biology and business. And I was an entrepreneur for 5 years and built 2 biotech companies. And neither one of them were successful. So I want to do what my stepdad did to become a millionaire, and that's real estate.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Amazing. Albert?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Albert Valenzuela, 53 years old. I'm actually in the auto collision industry. Been a real estate agent for 2.5 weeks now, so get ready to learn. You know?
All right, welcome.
And we have Nathaniel, you were on Zoom yesterday and you drove to be with us from Tehachapi. Thank you for that. You want to add anything from yesterday?
So my wife was due yesterday, so we're on reverse countdown for induction. Not that that's an excuse, but it might do get a little nervous, right? Or attending the meetings, depending on how much sleep and we end up in the hospital. But I wanted to come down here because first time taking the class and meet everybody in person as well, you know. And then I'll probably be Zoom from here on out.
All right.
If I can attend it.
Is your first?
Yes.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Boy.
Congratulations. And thank you for being here.
Of course, yeah.
I would have not talked to my husband if he was in a class. So you're a smart guy, okay. Anyone on Zoom would like to say anything before we start?
I don't think so.
Okay, anyone want to say anything about what we learned yesterday before we start today's session? Any ahas from yesterday you would like to bring back this morning? Yes?
I learned that we either aim high, sometimes we underestimate ourselves, our ability.
Thank
Oh.
you.
Do we get somebody on Zoom? Can you hear us?
I'm speaking back then.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay, so yesterday we learned why the value proposition of Keller Williams and why Keller Williams. And today we want to talk why you. Why do people choose us as an agent, you as an agent? And what are the main important things for an agent to have in order to be successful and go from just a regular agent to a great agent, right? And
Oh, you have an aha on Zoom. Continue to build on a structural foundation.
okay, thank you. Who is iPhone 76? You want to share your name with us?
Might not be easy
I
on
think-
iPhone.
Yeah, I think they might be trying to rename themselves. We'll follow up.
Okay.
Okay.
One thing about Zoom I do want to point out.
Yeah.
So every time you turn this way,
Mhm.
it's kind of hard. You're muffled a little bit because of the speakerphone, like the location.
So I should stay here?
you do
Yeah, she has a lapel. I'll make sure to stay on top of it today.
Okay.
Yeah, let me verify it's on, Eman. Let me look. It's, yeah, we're good. Okay.
And please, if you have, Sylvia shared something with me yesterday as well. Thank you for reminding me. If you want to share something, have Armando give you a microphone so
That's another
Zoom
thing too.
can
Yeah.
hear us.
Yeah.
Because they cannot hear when you speak.
So let me keep that on and we're ready to go.
So yesterday, I have to stay here, right? You said
No, you
here?
don't.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
Just move the mic up if anything. Let me fix it for you. Let me move it up. That should be fine.
For today, we
Much better.
combine two classes together. So we combine Embrace Your Job and Define Your Value. So it's gonna be back to back, I understand, but for us to finish by the end of this month, like within 4 weeks, since Monday was a holiday, we combine those two classes together and they go together actually, and we can do it. The same rules apply, guys, like yesterday. Please talk back to me, please participate, please do not use your phone. If you decide to use your phone, it is $5 for cares, except for Nathaniel, you can use his phone. And so we're gonna start today with Embrace Your Job. Today we're going to apply the 6 core competencies of that business. Recognize your role as a fiduciary for clients. Review the success system, recap and ahas, and daily success system that's going to be led by George from 11 to 12. So the last section is a George, 11 to 12. Okay? Yes.
What page are we on? Because I wasn't here yesterday.
It is page 2.3. So what are the 6 core principles of business? Number 1 is lead generate, capture, and convert to appointments. 2, present to buyers and sellers and get agreements. Number 3 is show buyers and market sellers. 4, write and negotiate contracts. 5, coordinate the sale to closing, and 6, manage the money. By looking at this, is there anything you think you don't know? Manage the money? That's why I'm here, so this is the easiest part. They all look like doable and we know
For me,
what
I
we
have
do.
a lot of lead generating.
Lead
Like
generating.
even I get and then I don't follow up. Even that feeling get, I don't follow up as I'm supposed to follow up. That's
Okay.
where everything falls out.
When we discussed the 6 personal perspectives yesterday, anyone remembers where did we relate lead generation to? Which personal perspective?
Was it the 80-20 rule?
The 80-20 rule. So to get 80% of results, you have to put the 20% effort. And the 20% effort for real estate agents is in lead generation. Because if you do not have leads, do you have a business? Can you sell homes? Can you
No, you can't.
Can you help anybody?
No.
So this is the main thing for you. This is why it is number 1. We all know that having a career in real estate forces you to wear so many different hats. You have to be the agent, you have to answer questions regarding lendings, you have to appraise the house, you have to babysit, you have to be marriage counselor, you have to know what they're thinking without them saying anything, because they will be upset if you don't know. And it all go back to how much do we know our clients, what the questions we ask them. Did we relate to them? Did we listen to them? Do we know who we are working with? Because they are your clients. You should know what they're looking for, what's the expectations, and how you can help them at the best way possible. And to do that, you really have to interview them, right? To know everything.
I'm sorry.
Morning, you're good.
And to send them the book on Zoom. I'll be right back.
Send the book.
Yeah, we have to few people.
What is lead generation? How do you define it?
Talking to people,
Okay.
calling, making phone calls, or door knocking, or open house.
Okay, for what purpose?
Prospecting to customers or clients.
Okay, and for them to be contacts, we have to have name, phone number, email, and address, correct?
Yes.
Is there any way you can have a new contact without talking to anyone?
Yeah,
Oh,
you can get a referral from someone else.
You can get a
And,
referral.
my cousin's looking for a house.
Yeah.
Oh, great, what's their information?
So relationships with clients is as important as relationship with each other, especially with other Keller Williams agents outside, because this is an easy business that can be referred to you, right? So there's so many ways to lead generate, and that's why we push people to go to family reunion, to go to mega camp where they meet each other and referrals happen. Did anyone get a referral here from going to any event? Anyone get a referral from going to an event that's hosted by Keller Williams or anything? No.
I think it has to do with, and I have that issue. I don't mingle easy. If I don't know people, it's very difficult for me. What I do is I look around the room and see if there is someone that, for some reason, it hits me like I can go up to that person and talk to them. But it's
It's
not
hard.
like, oh, you know, I get here, I don't know, hello, everybody.
What if I come and tell you I'm looking for a home? Is it easy for you to talk to
Oh,
me?
yeah.
So you have to look at it as the same business. This person might refer somebody for you, right? And to have a contact and to have a person you are allowed to call, you have to ask for permission. Can I call you? Can I email you? Is it okay if I text you the information? You just generate that relationship where they are okay to hear back from you. The last thing you want is for someone to block your number or say, oh, leave me alone. So it is all about the introduction and how you introduce yourself. So when you are lead generating, please make sure to ask permission to contact them and get their full name, address, email, and phone number. If you do not have all of those, it is hard for you to consider them as a contact to put in community.
So all of the three items need to be flexible to be associated.
We recommend that to have a phone number and an email, yes. Maybe not a home address. Some people are like, no, I don't want to give you that. But if you're calling them to list a home, you know their address. Correct? Now, if they are buyers, that's different. Present to buyers and sellers and get agreements. When you go in a listing presentation, what's one thing you need to do?
Research on the house.
Mm-hmm.
Connect.
Connect. How do we connect to other people?
You relate to them, like
Uh-huh.
kids, pets, common sport, something.
What happens when we talk more than we listen?
You hear anything?
Not well.
Not well. We don't know what's their expectations. So it is the questions we ask and waiting for the answers. What we tend to do when we are nervous is ask the question and ask another question and then ask another question before they answer because we are trying to get everything out. And what happens to that connection? Most probably they will answer the last question and they skip everything before because they cannot remember all of them. So make sure to feel comfortable and do your homework before meeting your clients and know what you're going to discuss, what questions you're going to ask them, and know what the expectations are. Because what's the purpose of going on a listing appointment?
Getting the contract signed.
Getting the contract signed. And how do you get a contract signed?
Connecting, making the person feel comfortable.
Comfortable.
Fine.
They need to be able to know that they are in good hands. And if you don't listen to them, does it show that you care for them? No. If you don't ask, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just listening, accidentally tapped the mic.
Well, it's nice to hear from you, Shirley. Thank you.
Thank you. I was just saying, no, it doesn't. If we don't listen to them, then, obviously we're not really putting their interests first, so.
Right.
Correct, yes. And it is the same thing for buyers. Right now it was an option before, right now we have to have an agreement signed that we are representing them. How would a buyer sign that agreement if they think you don't know what they're looking for?
They wouldn't.
They wouldn't, right? If someone tell you I need a big backyard, 4 bedrooms, and I need 3 door garage, and then you talk to him about 2 bedrooms and a small backyard, are you listening to them?
No.
Do you know what they want? Are they connecting?
You're not listening.
They can look for a home by themselves. They can go anywhere and type homes in Condon, homes in Lancaster, and they can have everyone in the market. They don't need you to do that. They need you to be present and know what they want and protect them.
Okay. You have to point it to the computer.
This is too much work.
There it is. I did it for you.
When we show buyers and market to our sellers' homes, do you have to have a plan?
Yes.
What's your plan? What questions should we
What
ask?
they're looking for, showing the appropriate houses, be well informed on the areas that they're looking into. If they need to be by good schools, churches, commute for work, if there's assessments in that particular area, if they don't want to be on propane,
Right.
have
And
the details down.
you're right, and are those things you can figure out before you go out on the field and show them homes?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
But one thing you have to show them, maybe, and you need to be present to understand what they like and what they do not like, is when they walk into the house and the wife say, oh, okay, the kitchen is small. You're not gonna show them 5 homes with a small kitchen. This is the first thing she noticed. That means she does not want a small kitchen. And what can we do to avoid that problem?
Ask questions.
Ask questions before that. Is it a good idea to go and see the homes when they get in the market and go be present in broker open homes, maybe open house, know your market?
Get familiarized with the inventory.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do your homework.
Do your homework, yeah. How amazing it is when someone say, I want to buy a home in Palmdale, close to the mall, and you say, oh, this area have these homes, this area have these homes. You know your area, you're an expert. Does it show any different than somebody sending an MLS homes, like an email with so many different things that they are all over the place?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah. So for us doing the homework, knowing what's going on outside, knowing the homes in the market, interest rates, everything counts. Everything counts. Again, they are not looking for somebody to send them an email. They can look for those homes on their own. They don't need us to do that. If they are sellers, what's important questions to ask them?
Why they want to sell?
Mm-hmm.
How soon you want to move?
How soon you want to move?
What's your reason for selling?
Okay. Are you planning to buy another home? Do you need to stay in the house after close of escrow? When do you need to be out by? What's the expectation on the return? Are you expecting to make money? Are you expecting to break even? If they tell us we cannot sell, we need to stay in the house till November. I have the house right now, and it is on the market, and they have an offer. But they said we cannot be in the house, outside the house till November. And I tell them, oh my God, I have an offer. It's 2 weeks cash, and I'm trying to make it very, very good and important. Do they feel that I listen to them? So maybe if we have that offer, we can give them another option of you can rent back, we made money, it avoids so many repairs, maybe if it's a cash deal. Just make sure for them to know that you know what you're talking about. You did your homework and there is a solution for the problem they are trying to avoid. If they say, I don't want an open house in my house, and your presentation shows I'm going to have an open house every Saturday, Sunday, really those things happen. We get phone calls, people complain about things like, I said no open house. Like, why do they have an open house in my house?
Wow.
It's still their house. I know we have the keys. It's still their house. What does this tell us about what do buyer and sellers want?
To be listened
to be heard, to feel safe.
Confident.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
To know that you're giving them what they want.
Yeah. What's the purpose of hiring an agent? It's for taking them from where they are to
where they
wanna
wanna be.
with no headache and no problems. If it's gonna be so stressful and like people hating each other, they really don't want an agent. They can just fight with each other. What about negotiation?
That's when fiduciary duty comes in.
Mm-hmm. How important it is for you to know how to negotiate on behalf of your client.
Very important. The sellers or the buyers are trusting you that you're going to be in their best interest.
Mm-hmm.
And they have an expectation that we have already set from the beginning. So.
What about getting them more money or saving them some money if they are buyers? Why don't we recommend so much that for the same agents to represent sellers and buyers?
Might have skewed, well, it might be difficult to navigate, you know, if you have a seller who's saying, you know, whispering, oh, I don't want to fix this and I have these problems. Well, now you have you have a legal responsibility and ethical.
Mm-hmm.
You have to disclose that to the buyer.
Yes.
I mean, you have to disclose it regardless.
Mm-hmm.
But you have a difficult buyer or seller that, you know, they're kind of trying to be greedy on who's, you know, how can you really stay neutral?
Right.
So.
Did you ever walk into a court and you find the same lawyer representing the plaintiff and defendant?
Nope.
So that's what I say, because so many people are worried right now that buyers are gonna go to listing agents. Is it on their best, is it good for them?
Not really.
No.
You have fiduciary duty to do for one side. How can you have a duty for both sides that are, they don't go together?
Mm-hmm.
Buyers want to save money, sellers want to make money. So how can you be in the middle and you say, I'm doing the best for you and for you? If you're gonna help the buyer, you're really taking away from the seller, right?
Mm-hmm.
To get sometimes,
Yeah.
Right.
unless they both agree and they know, okay, this is the best thing possible right now. We don't have any other offer. But when you hide offers from other people just to represent them, just says too much. We go back to integrity with that,
Right.
but you know. Negotiating offers from a price to a request for repairs to staying in the house after closing to anything. All goes into negotiation. It's not only how much we're gonna write the price for on the contract. There were days where sellers used to pay closing costs. If you've been in the business for a while, you remember those, right? You would. So an offer with no closing costs, it would been like, oh, it's a good offer. They're not asking us to pay anything. Right now, it's a seller's market, so they have the upper hand, but things change. And those days might come back in a different way. They're coming back through commission, right? It's all negotiating. Are you negotiating how you're gonna get paid and how much you're gonna get paid?
Yes.
No.
Oh.
You don't negotiate how much, you're firm on it?
Well, I mean, you're negotiating your fiduciary roles to act. It's one and the same because you're supposed to act as if their money was your own money.
Yes.
Right? So the primary objective is, well, win-win or no deal, but to protect their financial assets, their financial well-being as a fiduciary. So, I mean, if you go into it thinking about your commission or whatever, that's not,
Yeah.
that's not good.
But some people can say that for me to do everything possible that I promise you on this listing presentation, I need to get paid that much for me to be able to meet the expectation.
Yep.
Right? So is that giving a value for what you're getting paid for?
Absolutely.
You cannot say I want 6%, but I'm not gonna do anything for you. It's just I want it.
Yeah.
How do we coordinate the sale to close? Who's involved in our transaction?
Transaction coordinator,
Okay.
escrow,
Escrow.
title,
Lenders.
Lenders.
inspectors.
How many emails do you get from each section? Through that?
They each get a folder.
How many questions you answer?
Arrangements, meeting, signing, make sure the buyer and the seller got the documents in time, push them to meet the timeline.
Prelim was late. There's a problem with the prelim. The buyer agent is not answering. The listing agent is not answering. The seller didn't submit their package. The buyer didn't turn all the paperwork.
The lender is not calling back.
How many times do you hear that? I cannot reach the lender. Well, we cannot close with no money. We had a situation last week when we had a transaction and the listing agent didn't want to close and the buyer agent wanted to close, and the lender funded. And they said, it's not our closing date. We don't want to close. My seller, they're not ready to leave. Does this all go back to communication between how we close the transaction, between buyer agent and seller agent, escrow? Do you think if somebody talked to the lender and there was a clear communication, would the lender fund that day?
No.
Yeah, the seller didn't want to run it back. He's like, I'm not paying anything. The buyer didn't want to hold funds because they don't want to pay interest. That could be, it was possible for this not to happen if they really talked to each other.
Somebody dropped the ball.
Somebody dropped the ball. But does the buyer or seller care who dropped the ball? No. It's your fault. It's your fault. They trusted you to do the best job you should do. They're paying you for that. This is their expectations. Okay? No cheating. How many of us get their paycheck and spend it all?
Most of it.
Most of it? Where's the other?
We should have seen some more hands up then.
I spent before I get the check.
It's already counted over here.
An agent got paid yesterday and I said we need to meet, and he said, oh no, this is for expenses already spent. He spent the check before he received it. So, does this happen?
What do you think about those e-commission that they kind of promote?
So many people use them, and no judgment around that. Seriously, there is no judgment. All what I can say, the commission check is not all yours. If you remember that, your life will be way easier. I know when we are an employee and we are W-2, our taxes are taken out from our check before they give it to us. Why is that?
Because we'll spend.
Because they don't trust us.
They say.
They don't trust that we're going to pay the taxes. So they take it before they give it to us. Because the minute they give you 100, you assume 100 in my pocket. It's so good. When they give you 60, That's it. Your mindset is set that you have 60, not 100. They took the money already. So why do you need to have different bank accounts for your paycheck?
Taxes.
And you need to forget about that bank account, not use a debit card or ATM or cheat the system. You're cheating yourself. Because we have so many agents who are very successful, they make money, and then all of a sudden I have an IRS letter to ask me to withhold paychecks. And we can judge as much as we want. It can happen to every one of us if we are not careful. We can spend money very easy. Making money is hard. Spending it is fun.
That's my wife.
Yeah, I don't say that in front of my husband. I'm like, don't know.
You're like, spending money is so
I'm
hard
like,
for me.
Budget. I teach that. I only teach that. No, seriously, guys. If you need help with anything, profit and loss, budget, figuring out how to divide your check, please stop by. Please email me, call, text. I am available to help you if you want me to. But it is it's a two-way street. I cannot help you if you don't want to help yourself. And I cannot remind you about your appointment if you don't think it is important. At the end of the day, it is your money. And no one should care for your money more than you. We all have a big why that we discussed yesterday. And every time you spend money, just remember why you're working. If that money is going while you're working, great, good for you. If it's not, please ask for our help. We are here to guide you, and if we cannot, we refer you to someone else.
Well, I think you should have a prospectus made up before you even get into business.
Yes.
Plan. How much you're gonna spend, what's your outcome, and what's your profit and loss statement.
Yes, we should. The issue is some people have plans that we don't follow.
And you also don't know your production.
Yes.
You know, you could go through a quarter and make 50 G's and nothing the rest of the year.
Right.
It happens.
Yeah. The purpose of business is not to make money. It's not only to make money, it's how much money you keep. So if you make 100,000 and you spend 100,000, are you profitable? Actually, you're losing because you have taxes to pay after.
Yeah. In the red.
Oh, no, I didn't raise my hand.
Oh, okay. Which one you think you struggle with between those 6?
For this one, we should get them to answer on a mic. Just make sure it's on. The light. Eman?
If you don't raise your hand, I will choose for you.
What was the question, Maria?
Which one from the 6?
We struggle.
All of them have a good
1 to 5.
1 to 5, you struggle with? You're good with the money?
Yes.
You're good with the money or
disciplined with
you? Okay, that's good.
So 1 to 5 because like I said, once again, I just started in the industry. So, you know, I have no clue, you know, which direction. I mean, I can talk to people. I'm very good at it, you know, especially in the line of business that I've been in for the last 30 years, even the auto body industry, dealing with repair facilities, dealing with the insurance companies, you know, running a Little League organization where you have to talk to a lot of people. So I'm pretty good at that, but getting into this industry, like I said, it's a whole new game.
Yeah.
So, you know, like I said, I'm actually excited to get things going, but sometimes I have to set myself to go with that because I don't want to get ahead of myself, especially not knowing what I'm doing.
Okay. Well, you are in the right business if you love people.
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah, if you don't like people, guys, I don't think you should be in this. This is step 1.
To talk to people.
step one. Well, that's
Like
great.
collaborate with people.
Well, Albert, you are in the right place. If you need help from step 1 to 5, we are here for you.
That's why I'm here today.
Literally. Oh, anybody else?
Coordinating the sale. That, I mean, my first 7 transactions, the broker I was with, I had to TC the files. That was one of the requirements, right? And I almost quit. I hate TC. I hate the contract to close. It just, because you don't, if I'm out in the field and I'm working with buyers and showing houses, but then I've had 20 emails from 3 escrows that I've had going, I don't have that kind of structure. Right?
Gotcha.
I'm not that disciplined, and I hate being in front of a computer. So that, hands down, is my most difficult, my pain point. But pay for a good TC, that helps leverage that.
Right.
That's the answer to that one.
That's $5. Okay, so you paid for a TC, so you found a solution for
Yeah.
so that takes us back for yesterday, know your strength and weaknesses. So you know your weakness and you found a solution for it. Can you find a solution if you're not making money? If you have one transaction, would you go hire a TC and spend money on that?
Again, it depends on, if you've managed the money well, right? If you've kind of put some shekels away to weather the storm, then that's, but yeah, if you've got one file, the market's just dead, then I'm gonna save the $500 to TC my own file, of course,
So in our office, we tell new agents to do their own files. For one reason, it's for them to learn all disclosures. So if there's an agent outside the office that's asking you for disclosure, you don't say, what is that? I don't know what you're talking about. That's why we recommend them doing their own files, and usually it is for the first 2 files. After that, they can hire a TC. It is recommended, it's not forced, so you can hire a TC anytime. But just we recommend like everyone comes to contract class and do that.
And you did have them on Zoom if you want to have them unmute themselves.
I had to ask this, but what's a TC?
It's transaction coordinator, and it's the person who collects all the disclosures from everybody and put them in the file for compliance. Compliance is the one who will give you okay to release to get paid. It's
Another little, if you get, or when you get to that point, if you have somebody who's licensed, it gives them a lot more versatility too.
Right.
Because like there are TCs who can just TC a file, transaction coordinate, and you could even use somebody online. I think we've got in-house TCs here, right?
We have a few, yeah.
Yeah, so you can communicate with them, and they'll help you along, especially as a new agent. They're very good.
Okay. Thank you.
And Charlie, do you want to unmute yourself?
Hi. Hi.
Hello. So you're saying lead generation is your weakness?
Yes.
And is it your weakness because you don't like doing it or you don't know how to do it?
I think it's a little bit of both. I got licensed last December, and I've kind of been struggling with what works and what doesn't. I signed up for Zillow leads, because I was having trouble, so I thought it would be easier. When I meet with clients, when I talk with clients on the phone, or when I meet them to show them properties, I feel like I do pretty well. However, generating them outside of Zillow has been very difficult for me. I'm not really sure what works best or even where I should focus my time. So I feel like that's been very difficult for me. So I think it's kind of a lack of understanding what actually works and how I should focus my time, just to know what would actually lead me to success.
Okay, so There's something we have, it's called the fourth conversation, and we are gonna go over this, I think, with George today. It will help you talk to new people about your business.
Okay.
And I think it's in the book.
From 11 to 12.
And we have script every morning starting October 8:30 to 9 or 8 to 8:30?
9 to 9:30.
9 to 9:30. Can they be on Zoom?
So Google Meets.
It's Google Meet.
Yes, yeah. Google
So
Meets.
you can attend those, Shelley, and it will help you.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to try that out. You said it starts in October, or the ones that are currently going?
Yeah.
No, it's yes, after Ignite.
Okay. Okay. That sounds good. I'll try it.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? On your workbook, the page 2.6.
Do we have a list of scripts?
Script do we have?
A script book?
I have a script
Yeah.
booklet, yes. Do you want me to
Sorry,
share
have
it
some.
with you?
What I'm looking for is NODs, scripts. If you have some, I'd like to share that. I'd like to.
Armando said yes.
Yes, I do.
So,
Do I just share them with the whole class instead? So
I
that way,
don't-
does everybody like one? Okay.
yes.
I'm just gonna take a nice picture of you guys so I can see who's in the room, okay? Everybody say cheese.
Cheese.
Perfect, thank you guys.
Do we have scripts for expired listings, for telephone calls?
Spires, I think, are also on mine.
You do?
Yep,
Okay.
It's a pretty big script book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha, and physicals as well.
Even if we share the script book with you, I would really recommend you showing up to do it with someone else.
Yes.
It's different when you're reading it rather than practicing it.
That makes sense, absolutely. Thank you.
Who read the shift book in here? Yeah. Shift? Is it amazing?
Yeah, well, I read it during, at the beginning of COVID, when we thought everything was kind of
Yeah.
going down.
Does it take you to everything we're saying here? Like the 6%, it is from the shift book.
Yeah.
Do you remember it?
Yeah, I remember.
If you have not read the shift book, please do. It is really eye-opening and it is good.
I just got it.
You just got it, yes. And we are reading it in the office too. It is good. I would definitely recommend that. You can buy it online, and we have a few copies in here too that you can buy from the office. On page 2.6, there's a few questions. You have them? How long does it take to get a buyer or seller to sign a contract for a sale or a listing? Can you answer those questions for you, please? And you can share them.
It depends on how good a listener you've been. And, if you've been able to find their motivation for selling,
Mm-hmm.
you have explained the process.
Okay.
Basically, listening to why they're selling.
On an average, what do you think?
3 to 6 months.
4 weeks.
On an average, they say it is 2 months, 1 to 60 days.
Just to get them to say yes.
That's why we have to lead generate every day.
But don't be scared, some of them are ready.
How quickly do you get paid? How do you think from the day a buyer sign a contract or a seller to the day we get paid?
60 to 90 days.
Too long?
Too long? If you sign a contract today, are you good, in your opinion, not to get paid from today till that day? Whatever number you put. If it's 90 days, are you okay? Do you have enough money in your bank account to get paid for 3 months?
I don't think it is 46 days.
Usually it is 90 days.
And
Do you have enough money? Can you survive 3 months without a paycheck?
3 months, I would say, is the average.
Yes? You said yes?
Yes, 3 months.
So on an average, we should make sure that there is no month go by without us getting paid. Just like any other job. So whatever math you do and how you pay yourself, make sure that your business is paying you every month.
Yeah, that's why the shift was such a good, because you reverse engineer, right, your overhead and everything else. And then it's like a shifting market. It's how you can cut costs and see where you're spending extra money. Like it talks about TV programs, things that you waste money on. You know, your Amazon Prime account, right? Extra,
Yes.
whatever, $12.99 a month. It's like, well, you might need to cut that out for, you know, shift until you get back into a moment.
Yeah. You know what's the easiest way to reduce expenses?
Buy a new car.
When you cancel your credit card, because you know how many things automated that they are charged there that you don't know. $5.99 Paramount movies or whatever, $6.99 here, $7.99 there. You think it's only $5.99? Well, they add up. Especially if we're starting a new business.
Eat out all the time. Actually, that's more expensive than anything.
Yes, yes, yeah. I'm stressed out. My escrow fell. We're not gonna close, and then yeah, I'm going for a drink. Because I'm stressed. I mean, you're not getting paid. I don't know why you're spending money, but you know, it is like people think different. And instead go for a drink, just make sure you get your next lead, your next contract, your next step.
Maybe the drink will help.
Yep.
Well, getting the lead.
You realize.
Recognize your role as a fiduciary for clients. What's the difference in your opinion?
Taking action.
Okay. What else? What's the difference between functionary versus fiduciary?
Functionary looks like, sorry. Go ahead. Functionary looks like the minimum, and the fiduciary is what we should be doing.
Mm-hmm. So functionary is just a transaction for us. It's just a number.
It's an obligation.
Mm-hmm. Where fiduciary, you're doing it because you just want to do it and you love doing it and you're going to give it your own. On page 2.7, there's a list of different items between functionary and fiduciary. Any of them stand out for you that you do? No judgment. Like sometimes we think like we're doing great, but really it's a transaction for us.
I like the where they have employee and then over on functionary, and then on the other side they have fiduciary, because it points out that your employee, you know, you're a partner, you're actually a shared partner within the organization. That's really huge, because when you're a partner, you take on more obligation and more responsibility and more accountability versus being the employee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is your business.
Yeah.
You're not doing it for someone else. Every one of us here, we have a business. So we have to decide, is this business gonna get us more clients, or this client is gonna go and never refer us back? Have you ever been, guys, you take your cars for service and someone come and say, your tires need to be changed, and they give you minimum attention and they don't care for the car, and you go to another place and they talk to the car as if it's their baby, and they're like, oh my God, and I know guys connect to that. Where would you go, even if they charge you more?
Okay, who cares?
Who cares? And who looks at your car as something like they like as much as you do? For us, maybe, I don't know. I don't know anything. It makes a difference if someone talks to you because they have to talk to you, because it is their job to talk to you, rather than they want to do that because they really care.
Yeah.
And it shows. We think it doesn't show, it shows. Everyone knows if someone cares and someone doesn't care.
Yeah.
From a friend to relationship to anything. Yes.
Well, I have an experience with the vehicle. My son, I gave my son a vehicle. He burnt out the engine. It was a 2016 Kia. He burnt out the engine, went and got it fixed, quote unquote fixed. Oh, Mom, I can cover it. I said, okay. So the guy says it's going to be a certain, he didn't tell him the actual, well, he told him a little small quote or whatever. And then he says, okay, don't worry about it because we'll be able to get you finance. We'll go ahead and fix it. We'll be able to get you finance. Functionary. So he's like, are you sure you'll be able to give me finance? Now, my son has a 750 credit score, so he has a real high credit score, so he can get anything. So anyway, it comes to the point where he's ready to get finance. He cannot get finance. They put the engine on already. They took the car.
Another fun, another try.
Yeah.
We really want to support kids today.
But they ended up taking the car because he couldn't come up with the financing or anything like that. So because it was like $7,000 for the vehicle.
Oh.
And I said no. So they took the car.
Sorry.
But they told him that they could finance him for it, and they couldn't. So it actually does tap into the fiduciary.
That's right.
Because if I legally wanted to go in there and say, listen, you just went along with my son and not me, you know what I mean? But I was like, whatever, I just let it go. It was already paid off.
Yeah, we're costing more anyway.
Yeah. I was like, whatever. I was so frustrated. But yeah, so that's functionary versus fiduciary. There you go. That was a Kia, by the way.
On page 2.8, can you please answer the questions that example of being a fiduciary? How would you implement that in your business?
I'm sorry, what?
2.8.
To answer these questions?
Yes, it's 1 through 6.
And what you wanna know?
I want you to answer how would you implement being fiduciary rather than transactional in your business? anyone wants to share number 1?
Like obtaining as information as to their needs.
Okay. So for you to know their needs, you need to do what?
Ask questions.
What about number 2, how to present to buyers and sellers and get agreements?
Present it in a way they understand, like their personalities. They're very direct, they like detail, or mostly to the disc.
Okay.
Yeah, so kind of read the room, I guess I would say.
Okay. Number 3, show buyers and market sellers.
I didn't understand that.
To show buyers and market sellers. You didn't know how to be fiduciary for
No,
them.
but I don't really understand what it entails.
Oh, it's like, so for example, if a seller has multiple offers, we educate them which one is the best offer, why it is the best offer. We don't force it on them, we just educate them. Or if a buyer is not clear between 2 homes and they know they don't want to pay HOA, would I recommend that? I would say it's up to you, and it is your decision. Based on what you told me in the beginning, you said you do not want HOA payment. This house has an HOA payment, this one does not. It is your decision, I have to make sure you know that. Is this something
Relaying the information.
correct, reminding them of what they wanted and what they shared with you, proving that you were listening? Yeah. Write and negotiate contracts.
By explaining the, going over the contracts. If it is to the buyer, you should have listened exactly at what they were looking for, if that's the price range that they're looking for. And if they say, okay, this one is, I just want to offer $450. And so in that, right there, depending on what the situation is, then you would have to negotiate possibly, okay, if you really want this home, do you want to pay that? Or since they have other offers, you know, what else can we do here? Would you afford a little bit more? Do you need to necessarily the closing costs? So just discussing with them what, and listening to what it is that they're looking for, what they can afford. That for the buyers. And with the sellers, well, you know, do you have, are you getting what you expect? You know, did my net sheet show what is okay with you?
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
write the contract with a win-win situation.
Correct. It's our values, yes.
I would say also include what is covered and what is not covered. So there's no, you know, at the last minute, oh, well, we can't come up with the closing costs. We thought that it was written in the price, you know, or commissions, and where is the commissions? Is it on the buyer side? Is it on the seller side? Seller is actually gonna cover the buyer, so just be clear and break it down.
And just remember that it is your client decision, it's not about you. You can educate your clients, it's not a decision you can make. Just make sure it's not you. Don't take anything personal.
Okay, that's good. Bless you.
Number 5, coordinate the sale to closing.
Be in communication with everyone.
Yeah. Maybe recommend good people for inspection. Good, recommend home warranty, you know. They depend, our clients depend on us to refer some people to them. Sure, that's you to refer someone you trust and they have a good reputation, right? And number 6 is manage the money. How important is that?
Very.
Very important.
deteriorate from 50.
Number one.
Yeah. When you're giving an advice regarding a home, it is the biggest investment in someone's life, right? It's where all someone's money is. Would you trust someone who is not good with their own money? Right? How can I advise someone to do something financially if financially I'm failing?
You can't teach them that.
I cannot. I have to walk the talk, right? How can someone listen to me? And I'm the one who's helping them making the biggest financial decision of their life.
Lead by example.
Lead by example. Right? Imagine you're showing a home, selling a home, and I don't know, I hope it never happens, but it happened before. And the parking lot, we saw tow trucks taking cars away for our agents when the market crashed. Because the first 3 payments, the checks they had, they decided to get BMW or Mercedes-Benz with a payment that they cannot afford because they jumped into, they just misunderstood the market, let's say. We all make that mistake. We all make a mistake of buying something we cannot afford, then we learn from our mistakes. It's not wrong to make a mistake. What's wrong is making the mistake twice. Right? We all learn. And that's why we need financial help. That's why we get educated financially. Just make sure, please, to be financially responsible so people can trust you. Because they're trusting you with the biggest investment of their life. It is the most expensive thing they will ever buy. And if they cannot afford it, you should be able to tell them that.
And also tell them that they need to talk to their tax man.
Yes. Yeah, does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Any questions? Any concerns? Any ahas? Good. Why is it important for us to have you all here to lead generation, guys?
It's the most important thing in business.
Because yes, if you have a store with no merchandise, do you have a business?
No.
If you are a real estate agent with no leads, do you have a business?
No.
This is your business. This is what makes and breaks you. So if you're gonna tell me I don't like to do cold calling, and I say okay, and you say I don't like to go door knocking, and I say okay, and you say I don't like people, and I'm like, okay, you have to give me something you like. Then I will find you something to do. So, right? TC.
I mean, that'd be, yeah, if you
Yes.
don't like people.
There's
you
no
could be a
nothing.
TC, it's
There's
back.
nothing wrong in
You
that.
make good money.
We have an amazing TC, and they are amazing, and they do their job in the best way possible because they love doing it. If you don't love people, you are in the wrong business. This is who you're gonna talk to all day long. You can see them in your dreams. It is hard not to like people. So find the way, what is the best way for you to lead generate. My kids used to be in sports. So whenever I go to their games, I would wear a hat that says Keller Williams. Yes, I don't like to call. Cold calling is not my thing. I found another way of doing business. Find your way. There's no right or wrong. There's only, let's get leads. How you get them, it's up to you. In bold, anyone been to bold?
Yeah.
Anyone is taking bold again. It's coming in October to our office. They ask you to do 100 conversations a day and to talk to 100 people. And when I did it, I went and stood by Macy's door, because how am I gonna talk to 100 people a day? I stood there and everyone was going to Macy's. I said, do you have a minute to talk to me? Most of them said no, but guess what I did? I broke my mindset of there's no way I will talk to 100 people a day. I talked to 100 people a day. Yes, I did not have 100 clients, but I talked to 100 people. It's the mindset that stops us. If you did not take Bolt before, I would definitely recommend Bolt. It starts October 9.
Ooh,
Yeah,
sorry.
October 9. It's posters will be up today. It's a good one.
Eman, I shared the script book with everybody in the room. I just
Okay.
need 2 emails, so I'm just gonna walk over.
So earlier,
I don't have your receipt.
I would like everyone in the room and on Zoom to choose a accountability partner, please. That's not looking at me, you look at each other. You don't?
I'm accountable already to myself and to my wife.
Okay, but you need one for Ignite, so.
Eman, are you doing a break?
If you need 5 minutes to break after you choose your partner, you can have 5 minutes break.
Started, just go ahead and put your email on here for me so that I can send you the script books, okay?
Thank you, sir. You still have your prior.
Yeah, it's like a nursing program. Okay.
Oh, Eman, we might need to coordinate them online.
I told them.
Shelly, were you able to find somebody? There you go. Thank you, sir.
I didn't attend that one, I think. I didn't attend it.
Don't lie.
We can pair you guys up if you want. Elizabeth, do you have a accountability partner yet? Maybe Maria. Are you guys still on Zoom?
Sound about right? Yeah, yeah. Is it hardware? Not hardware. Are you
Let me figure this out.
close that line pretty quick? Yeah, bro. Was it cash or seller finance?
It was seller finance.
Seller finance, yeah.
My client already got their license.
You went through it fast? No, no? This is
They didn't take long. We're yeah, 6 months, but they said they can do it in 3 months.
You're going to.
What's the payment, like 10 grand?
Yeah, like 10,000 over 3 months.
Flipping house.
I mean, they agreed to it, so it's flipping.
I have a seller finance right now. Also land in Little Rock for 50, but they're doing
Okay.
60 or so.
Thank you, Lisa. No worries. Do you have an accountability partner yet?
Yeah, the one that's right.
It's like a card, I think it's 5 or 6 years.
Alexa,
Right,
you choose a partner.
That's a quick one, but that's rare.
They put the engine in,
might not agree to leak this way.
Yeah, like a small workstation that needs to go to efficient.
So when does this class end?
11 o'clock. 11 o'clock.
No, like the date.
Oh, there's 20 sessions, so in 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
Don't you do title checks? And then like, when somebody goes, we're expecting naysayers and all this other stuff, I was like,
I'll look it up.
Look at that,
yeah.
listen. Yeah.
But they didn't ask my permission.
Oh, you have another one?
Well, no, I have one, just a residential right now.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Which one?
Yeah, and so when I was pressing it,
It's on Second Street.
they knew that they had to do something about it.
What's the price?
430.
Whatever, it's the.
Is it,
car right there. You know what I mean? I'm like,
What's it called?
they
We're
took
supposed
it,
to
the engineer was sorry, they do like.
Okay, Cecia and Shelly, if neither of you guys have. Okay, so Cecia, we have Elizabeth and Shelly that don't have partners. In the chat, go ahead and interact so that way we can verify this, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, so then we AAA into the.
Okay. Yeah.
I was like, what can we AAA it? This place is actually like, we could It is what it is.
Okay, so I'm gonna pair you guys up. Maria and Elizabeth, you guys are gonna be accountability partners, okay? I'm gonna type it in the chat. And Cecia and Shelly, you guys will be accountability partners.
Or at least they would contact me.
Like,
You know, where you wait to ask.
and they're out for.
430. Before they were at 440.
Oh, you see, okay.
It is what it is. Yeah, but it is. Like I said, they did put the work in, they did that.
And then we
So
have.
this class feels like it's being taught for agents that are already in business. So I don't feel like I'm learning anything new yet, how to do anything. So I'm wondering, am I in the right class?
Yes. No worries.
That's for
We don't get enough full price offer
And
with it.
Elizabeth, you are with Maria.
Reduce it to my recommended, or at least like 20, 30.
And you feel like you just passed it.
I want to learn how to do contracts. I want to learn how to do the scripts.
There's a contract class. So these classes for this is the right way.
I gotta need motivation, but don't need
Okay, so
accountability.
There's a contract class today at 1.
Yeah, our contract class will begin today at 1 p.m. They'll go over the new updates and they'll touch on a little bit of everything. I know it's a lot at once.
I can't do contract class today at 1. I already have
No worries, it'll be recorded and it's gonna be uploaded. You can take a look at it later, but just to keep that in mind, Wednesdays at 1, contracts classes from 1 to 3.
Wednesdays at 1 to 3?
1 to 3, yeah. Yvonne on Zoom, were you able to find an accountability partner? All right, and just make sure Cecia and Shelly exchange emails and phone numbers so that you guys can check in on each other. And just make sure that, if either of you guys have anything you guys have questions on, that way you guys can communicate about it. And nonetheless, if you guys need us to answer something, at least you guys are still having conversation around it. The same thing for Elizabeth and Maria. Thank you, Maria. We appreciate that.
Okay, let's get back.
All right, everybody, we're gonna get started again.
It's a lot of
Okay, are we ready to come back?
Put a lot of time, but now it's time to get out of the nest.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, who wants to the for $10 already.
Roll it.
He turned his phone off, he disconnected it, he's like, I'm not working.
It rings again.
On page 2.10 is where you are supposed to fill out all the partner information. And page 2.11 are the questions that are expected from you to ask. Can you add to those questions? Of course you can. Just make sure they feel comfortable and they feel that you care. It's not just a question for you to fill out and never do again. Please.
Perfect. They're exchanging info.
Great. Any questions regarding that? Zoom, anyone have a question?
Feel free to unmute yourself.
I'm skipping the fourth, how you speak with the sphere, because George is gonna go over this. Okay? Because you're gonna go back to the fourth conversation, George is gonna go over that.
I know, it's up, bro. What's the?
Who knows what a value proposition is?
What's my goal?
What's a value proposition? What's a value proposition?
Hold on.
Like your listing presentation or buyer's presentation?
Okay.
Say it one more time.
Your
What's your
listing
word?
presentation or value or buyer presentation?
Okay.
We got another one over here. I'm sorry.
Like,
Oh, no, it wasn't.
I just say your value, what's your worth?
Okay.
to get my client the highest net with the least amount of stress and as quickly as possible.
That's your value proposition when you go meet with the clients?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody else?
That's good. A value proposition is a unique, memorable, and persuasive statement that expresses the true value of working with you. Number 2 addresses the specific and special needs of the buyers and sellers in your market. 3 states what you will do for your client to earn your commission. And 4 holds you accountable to high standards. Why do we have a value? Why is it important for us to have a value proposition?
So we stand out.
Okay, yes.
To earn your keep.
There's a lot of us. Why would seller number 1 choose agent 1 rather than agent 2?
Because you're more informative and trust.
Okay. Is that in your value proposition?
Yeah, that's the value. Because they're going to depend on you, trust in your judgment, what you tell them, they believe.
Anyone has a value proposition ready when they go meet with clients?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Can you share it with us?
Sure. Well, I typically bring up the all-star group. We're a team of 8 agents, so it's not only me marketing your home, it's also a team of 8 other agents that are talking to their clients. They have pre-approved buyers and word of mouth. We also have Zillow. We pay for Zillow every month, which we get calls on a daily basis of active buyers that are looking at homes and properties. I also talk about research, 24/7 research, MLS, which is a flex out here, and then we also offer SRAR for sellers. So we get those leads from LA area and down below. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Thank you. Guys, Eman is so happy to meet you. So how can our Y4C2Ts to our value proposition? Anyone remembers what our Y4C2Ts? Come on, guys. Customers, commitment, creativity. Is this, can we relate this to our value proposition?
Yes.
Every single one.
Yeah? Top agents can easily explain what services they will provide to anyone who hires them. Why are they a top agent?
Because they know their market, they know the attrition rate, they know what sells homes, what buyers are looking for. They typically know the statistical analysis on where buyers are coming from. They know local resources, and essentially the values. Like, if the most important thing for you, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, is to sell your home quickly, well, you want to set it at this price because this is the attrition rate in the area. If you want to go above X price, it's going to take a little bit longer to sell your home based off of the comps.
Okay. So, every word he used, he said value, right? It's the value. If you are confident of what you're giving, are you confident for what you're asking in return?
Yes.
Right? Nathaniel, why would I choose you as my listing agent?
I know everything from dirt to doorknob. I've been a superintendent for single-family residential since 2018. If you want to utilize a concierge program, let's say a 2-to-1, right? So a 2-to-1 is your paint with your house. I can see that you have very bold colors on your wall. The market's going to want something more neutral. So if you don't have the capital to do that right now, I'm glad to pay my guys to come in, paint these walls. We'll get more value for your home. I get reimbursed out of escrow, and your house will sell faster.
What did he offer them?
Service.
Does everyone else offer the service? So is this his value proposition?
Yes.
Would you as a client choose him over somebody who comes and say, I will do an open house and put your home in the market?
Some boy.
Sometimes he does, even if he does those things and he does not say it, do they mean anything? Are they gonna know? They don't know what they don't know.
Communicate.
That's a great value proposition. We have other agents here who will give, we have Thomas who have a track that he gives for his clients. We have all-star team that there's always someone who can answer their calls, or if one person is not present, there is someone else. Or we have Keller Williams. When you go to a listing presentation and you are a new agent that you haven't had one transaction closed, you can say, I belong to #1 office in Antelope Valley. Yes, our office closed the most sold house in Antelope Valley last year. Can you use that for you as a brokerage?
Yes, you're part of the office.
You can. Can you say Keller Williams International, and if you want to move from here to Florida, I can make sure you're taken care of there the minute you get there?
Yeah.
So what's a value proposition? What is that? What are they looking for in there? They want the value, they want the exchange. Okay, I'm giving you that much. I want to know exactly what you're giving me back. I don't want to assume. I don't want to guess. I don't want to be surprised. What does a value proposition do to us when we have it in writing?
Hold us accountable.
Hold us accountable, like our goals. When you have it in writing, can you say, I didn't say? When you are confident of what you're doing, are you afraid to do it? If you are a market expert, can you go to your buyer and say this is overpriced? Is this your duty to advise them? That's the benefits of a value proposition. Helps your clients understand your value and expertise, protects your commission, builds a strong and trusting relationships. We are 4.4. Number 3 is tomorrow, guys. We're doing 2 and 4. 4.4. So for helps your client understand your value, and this is why they choose you, they know what you're offering. They will not argue with you about your commission when you give them so much value. They know what they're paying for. And those are questions on 4.4. There's 3 questions and you can fill them in. And build strong and trusting relationship. What happens when you walk in somewhere and the other person know what you're doing? And they feel that you are confident about what you do.
They trust you.
They trust you. They feel like you're an expert. When you go in there not prepared and you have nothing with you, what do they feel? How can I put the biggest investment in my life in someone's hands who's not ready even to come meet me? How can they be ready to sell my home or buy a home? If you do not put enough effort to earn the trust of your client, how you're gonna sell their home and care for them? So the effort from the start is you're not putting it. How are you gonna sell their home? Just for the check? They will not. Albert, you want to read Airbnb for us? Can you see it?
Yeah. Airbnb exists to create a world where anyone can belong anywhere, providing healthy travel that is local, authentic, diverse, inclusive, and sustainable.
Would this give you an idea what Airbnb does? This is a big company. If value proposition, it's not important, why do they work on it? Anyone wants to read Walmart?
Everyday low prices for a broad range of goods that are always in stock in convenient geographic locations.
So, Walmart, they said everyday low prices. Did they say best quality? They're saying the truth. You can find the lowest price. And guess what? I cannot, it's on you when it comes to quality, but it is the lowest price. You cannot find anywhere cheaper.
That's true.
Hey, that's
Right?
my store.
I love Walmart. That's
Well,
my favorite Walmart.
no judgment. I'm just saying what it has to be honest. That's what it needs to
That's
be.
what they're doing.
Slack makes downright pleasant to work together. You know what Slack is? Everyone knows. It's an app where employees text each other. You are on it today. That's it. Next commission check goes to Kim. Grammarly, great writing, simplified, composed, bold, clear, mistake-free writing with Grammarly powered writing assistant. Anyone here use Grammarly?
Yep.
Yes, I know.
I use it. It corrects everything. I don't even have to review if I'm using wrong any word, it will figure it out for me. It's like, do you want to be direct? Do you want to be friendly? Do you want to be, and when I say friendly, it will come back to me and say, this is very direct. And I'm like, okay. This is the ID, and here we go. QuickBooks, send invoices in minutes and get paid in 2 days faster. Is this a value proposition to use them? What's the value here? You get paid 2 days faster. Right? And the State Farm here to help life go right. Are they still in California also?
Yeah.
Yeah, State Farm.
But probably not writing new policies.
There's one thing in common between all of those. They are offering something no one else does. And if they do, they are not doing a good job in advertising it like those people do. And they are honest.
I don't know about State Farm.
Yeah, that's not really a good word.
I'll go right there.
I don't know what else you could think.
I'm trying to remember if I have State Farm. Connect to your value, KW and market center value, fiduciary market expert. Yesterday we talked about Williams value.
4.1.
So how does being a part of Keller Williams family help you with your personal value proposition? I just gave you an example. Yes.
Our market center was #1 in sales last year, so you can use that in your value proposition. And with Keller Williams is international, so if someone's moving, say, to Pennsylvania, you're able to refer them to a trusted agent in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
And you also get that referral, like 25%. I think you're able to set it within command, but yeah, so it's a win-win.
Yes. Can we do everything without meeting our sellers and buyers and be everything online? Can we use command for easy transaction?
Technology savvy, whatever.
Correct. How does this help us in deal?
We advertise in at least 4 that I know of, internet advertising companies,
Okay.
magazines, etc., etc.
Yeah. There's so many benefits for Keller Williams to be part of this office, rather not mentioning international. We are #1. We have 400 agents. We are the biggest office. Most of the listings are from our office, so we know the listing agent. If we are working with buyers, and if we are working with sellers, we have 400 agents that are looking for buyers. Okay? Does this help? That you are part of the biggest office in Antelope Valley? It does make a difference. What about your fiduciary duty?
We're working in the best interest of our clients.
Okay. When you belong to the biggest office in Antelope Valley, would you say that you can refer them to the best in the business when it comes to contractors, appraisals, inspections, any other service they need?
Through pre-approved vendors.
Lending, escrow?
Repairmen, painters, like the one that from my last closing, that I just got it from the front desk. And my client wouldn't have been any happier with me.
Correct, because we have a vendor list that we provide when someone do an outstanding job. And we try to share that service because we trust them. Would that help your clients?
Yeah.
And market expert, What does Keller Williams do invest in their agents here?
Education.
Education. We have more classes than anyone else. We try to stay on the top of all the changes, all the market changes, educate our agents regarding new contracts, teaching you how to do CMAs, how to talk to agents, doing Ignite, doing Bold, everything. Would this help you with your value proposition? Would talking to each other help us? He just gave us an amazing idea. Nathaniel just gave us an amazing idea. Does this help when we brainstorm together and learn from each other to be better?
Yes, we have access to collective knowledge and experience.
Yes, rather than keeping it for himself, and he's like, no, I'm going to have this. He just gave you an example what we can do to be better. Right? Does this help?
I just stole it from other KW agents.
There you go.
And
so we don't steal, we learn.
That's cool.
Because that's why when we go to family reunion and all those events, when a top agents go on stage and say exactly what they're doing to succeed, it's not a secret. They want other agents to succeed too. Right? We share our success, we share our mistakes. Don't ever do that because it will cost you so much. We learn from each other. Right? I believe on page 4.5, there's 3 questions that you can fill out and say what you can include in your value proposition.
I'm reading the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
I'm halfway through.
So what do you think matters to buyers and sellers? You know, we discussed this. The purpose of real estate. For buyers, their goal is to find just the right home at the best price and the right time with the least number of problems. We hear that, right? For sellers, their goal is to net the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time with the least number of problems. No one wants problems. That's why they hire us, because we can work magic. We solve the problems they don't know that exist, right?
We take the stress out of the transaction.
Yes. The top 10 service area for the buyer value proposition. Number 1 is needs analysis. That's what most buyers want. They want needs analysis. They want someone to hear them and understand what they need. Pre-qualification or pre-approval. Neighborhood information, home search. They need someone helping them with an offer. Number 6 is negotiating to buy. 7, vendor coordination. Number 8, pre-close preparation. 9, closing, and 10, post-closing. Yes.
For services to offer to buyers on neighborhood information, at what point does it become like illegal? Because you know how there's like steering, redlining, what was it, started with a B. Blockbuster, I think it was something like that. Like, you know how someone asks you like, oh, what do you think of this neighborhood, or how are people in the neighborhood? Like, I know we're supposed to give like limited information in that because we don't want to like, you know, go over those guidelines. So how would you say you would go about like?
Usually if they have kids, what I do, I send them school information or lead them where they can see the schools. This is what number 1, they, for people with children that attend schools, they want to know how good the schools are. And I do not mention anything like that. I just share facts. If there is any public information, I do not make it specific about anything. Yes.
You can actually pull up the census report for that area.
They can do their, you can just lead them to the website where they can get the information they want without you saying anything. Yeah. Yes?
Do you ever like tell them you can call the police department if you're not sure what area is safe? Because I know I've had people say that to me. I go, I'm really not allowed to tell you that. And then it sounds awkward.
I never said that. I was never asked that question either. So I usually would lead them to a website, and I would recommend them to ask or go to the school and visit or go to the neighborhood during night hours. I stay away from saying anything that might hint to anything because they can use it against you.
They may want to drive through the neighborhood at different times of the day or evening.
Evening, night. Most people know the area and they know what they're getting to. Now, if they're going to ask me about their neighbor and the other neighbor, I don't know. And this is something no one should be responsible for.
If they're a major nuisance, it's supposed to be on the TDS, the disclosure. Like if the neighbor plays music
Correct.
till 3 in the morning, that could affect the sales.
That's a seller or buyer, that's not an agent.
But you can tell them
Yes,
that. Say,
yes.
oh, how are the neighbors? You say,
Yes.
well,
Yes.
we should, most information we're going to find.
Well, we'll find out on the TDS, correct. And the SPQ, they have like so many detailed information. But yes, I don't say anything that way. I stay away to answer you. Because so many people say, oh, what kids go to this school or what kids go to that school, and this is where I send them to the school website, and they can figure out if they want to send their kids there or not.
There's only so much.
Yes. Yeah.
That's not beyond our job.
Yeah. Top 10 service area for sellers. Number 1 is needs analysis, exactly like buyers. They want to know that you care, you understand, and you analyze their needs. Pricing strategy, they want to know the most. Property preparation, they want to know what the property needs. They need someone, as he said, your walls look like they need to be painted. It's not going to go on the market like this. Your house needs work. Few things you need to fix so you can avoid inspection problems, right? Marketing strategy, receive an offer, negotiating to sell, pre-close preparation, closing, and post-closing. So we always think, how do buyers choose their agents? 52% they choose an agent just to find them a home. Really, they don't want to do anything. Just find me a house. 13% want them to negotiate for them. 11% care about the price. And 24% is other. And the other is helping with paperwork, determine comparables, helping them understand how much they can afford. That's 4%. And financing, help teach more buyers about the neighborhood. That's only 2%. Just to go back to your question, only 2% of buyers ask questions about that.
We had that question once.
Yeah, so it's funny, just so it, and help find renters for buying property is 1%. So 52% of buyers, they want the right home. They want someone to listen to them exactly what they want in a house and show them the right house. 52%, that's a high percentage. Factors buyers value when choosing an agent. 20% the agent is honest and trustworthy. 19% is the experience. So that's when you tell me you're a new agent. 19% of the buyers care that someone is with an experience. 17% care about the reputation, and 44% others. Wow. Look at who's here. Thank you, guys.
I would have thought.
We're here to collect fees for the sign up?
Yeah. I would have thought that the 44% would have been agents is honest and trustworthy.
That's 20%.
Yeah.
And the experience is 17%, reputation is 17%, experience is 19%. So the excuse if I'm a new agent, buyers don't want to work with me, works only 20% with you guys. Any questions regarding this?
What's the other 44%?
Agent is a friend or family member, 13%. Agent's knowledge of the neighborhood, 8%. Agent personality is 6%. Agent is on time, 6%. They are always accessible, they're 4%. Active in local community is 1%. And being in an association is 1%.
A multitude of small.
Nothing that stands out there. So if you can focus on your how honest you are, how prepared you are, and earn their trust, this is the most important thing for them.
Honest, on time, and accessible.
Yeah.
There we go. That's fine.
What sellers want most from their agents? 21% they want the help price home and be competitive. They want their home sold. 20% help seller market home to potential buyers, so get the home ready. 16% is help sell the home within specific time frame. 16% is help seller find ways to fix up home to sell it for more. So again, 21% is to price it right. And the factors that the seller consider when choosing an agent is 32% reputation. So it is what's your reputation in the market? 19% is honesty and trustworthy. 17% its agent is a friend or a family member, and 44% others. So is it important to have a good reputation?
Yes.
To get referred? Yeah.
I have a lot of friends in a big family.
A lot of friends. Usually you don't have the people who.
Yeah, no, I have a lot of friends.
On page 4.10. Are you there? They divided them into sections, how to write your value proposition. Because we don't have enough time to finish this, can you please promise to finish this tonight and write them? And maybe share it with, JD, when are you teaching next week?
I actually got it right here, hold on.
So either JD or George can, if they can share their value proposition with you, because we don't have time to go through this. So
Friday, no.
This Friday? Okay. Can you have, is it okay if they share their value proposition with you?
Definitely.
Okay, can you have it ready for JP Friday, anyone who would like to share? Do I have a commitment?
Yes.
Thank you. Do you have any questions, any ahas, anything, concerns? Yes.
Because I'm probably not gonna be able to make too many of the classes because of my regular job.
Yes.
Quick. That's the plan. Yes, hopefully.
I told you we have solutions for everything.
That's gonna be the plan, the goal.
Yes.
Yeah, but a lot of these, I did notice that they are recorded, right?
They are all recorded, and Armando will send it to you. Yes, it is on our
I'm
calendar.
still gonna try to set up, thank God I'm out in the field anyway, so I'll try to work around so I can deal at least attend them on Zoom.
Yes, they are recorded. Any other questions? Are you ready for George and JD? Yes. You wanna move and wake up maybe a little bit? Well, thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Good job.
No, I just have to.
Yep. Thank you, Zoom.
Are the
No, man, text me there, we'll go to bed. Oh, yeah.
You don't need it.
I know, I'm pretty
He comes in, yeah. He started wearing his cowboy boots, I was like, he's always jealous.
Nate, sit down! I'm just kidding.
Am I meeting with Victoria now?
No, not yet. Give me a few more minutes. Good morning! Good morning! All right, who's excited? So, what do you guys think of the night so far?
Yeah!